What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching another video. Today we're going to be doing a DIY mod on my Audi S3. Today I'm going to be making a DIY burnout switch for this car. Essentially what that's going to do is, with the push of a button or flipping a switch on and off, it's going to turn the Audi S3 from an all-wheel drive car into a front-wheel drive car. And it's really good to use at the drag strip, or if I want to have some fun, allowing me to heat up the front tires before I make a pass. When I flip the switch, it's going to turn the car into front-wheel drive by deactivating the Haldex system, allowing me to spin the front tires to get some heat into them, so I could essentially do a better 60-foot off the light to get a better time at the drag strip in the quarter mile. And then turning the switch back off, it's going to reactivate the Haldex system, making the car all-wheel drive when I actually go to launch it at the light. One very popular company that does sell a burnout box, burnout switch, is USP Motorsports, and it's nice because it is like a Bluetooth system. It's a little box, you connect it to the Haldex that's in the back of the car. It takes 5 minutes to do, and then you get a little remote switch, and you can literally click front-wheel drive, it turns it into front-wheel drive, click it back into all-wheel drive, then you have all-wheel drive again. It's a super simple, really clean, nice setup. Now, there's only 2 issues with that, and they're really not issues, but number one, it's always back ordered. A lot of people run it, and that's a good thing for them because it is a good product, but they are always back ordered and a lot of wait time for that. And then number two, it is a little expensive for a burnout box. I think it's like $200. I could be wrong. Last time I checked, I haven't checked it in a while, but last time I checked, it was out of stock, and I think it's somewhere around $200. It might be a little cheaper. Again, I don't remember, but if you can make one yourself for like $10, why not do it? This panel right here is where all the fuses live, and fuse number 44 is the one that we're going to be using to tap into the Haldex system to be able to run this switch. So we got to pop off this cover right here, and then you're going to see all the fuses down here. We're going to pull out the fuse and begin piecing together the burnout switch that I'm going to be making. Okay, so the wiring on this isn't too hard. But I'm not very good at wiring, so, and I think I've mentioned that before in videos, but essentially what this is going to do right here, as long as this gets into focus, is this line is going to go to an end that's going to go to where the fuse goes, and then this is going to go to where the switch goes. I'm going to be putting the 15 amp fuse for the Haldex right in here in this little fuse tap, and then this closes up. So essentially what that's going to do is, when you activate the switch, it will cut the power off, causing the car to go into front-wheel drive. And then when you turn the all the power back on, then it'll go back into all-wheel drive, essentially. There are other ways to make these switches. I've seen a couple of different ways online, but I think this is probably the easiest to do, the quickest to do, and the cheapest way to do it. So I'm going to try and get a good angle to be able to actually piece this together. I just need a couple of ends right here from these quick disconnects. And again, you're going to need just a wire stripper and a wire crimper. That's something that, you know, if you don't have, you're going to have to get one, but they're not that expensive either. You could use a basic one that's like $10. So let's start piecing this together. I'm going to lay it all out just to see how this is going to go. And then I'm going to connect it to the car and see if it actually works. And then we'll go out and see if we could do some front-wheel drive burnouts just to test it out. Okay, I'm using my iPhone to film this because it's a little easier to get everything in there, but we're going to be working and taking out that 15 fuse right there. So it's next to this 30 and this right here. This 15 amp fuse is the Haldex fuse that we got to use. So we got to pull that one out, and then that's where the switch is going to get wired up to. Guys, so I got the ends already stripped off, so I like to twist the end of these wires so that it's all nice and flush. Just make sure that that's good. I'm also using a 12 gauge wire, which is probably a little overkill, but this piece right here comes all together in one that you could buy for like $2. So it comes with a 12 gauge wire, so that's okay. So put this in. I'm gonna kind of turn it into there a little bit. There we go. Okay, guys, so got the wire. Just gonna twist it up a little bit, and I'm gonna opt to go actually for the 14 to 16 gauge connector. I think it fits just a little bit better. Even though the wire is at 12 gauge, I want it to be nice and tight, and this twists in very nicely. So like so. There is a little point in the connector. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you want the strands of the wire to show up a little bit. So, and then we're gonna take the crimper and make sure that we can make this nice and straight. Okay, we're going to crimp that. There we go. I'm gonna give it a little tug, make sure nothing is perfect and all around nice and sealed. So now we've got the one side that's gonna go to the actual switch, and now this end, let me twist this up, and we're gonna put the other connector into that. That's going to go into the actual fuse box. And literally, you kind of want to screw it on to make sure that it is nice and tight. And then same thing with the other side. You want to make sure you get a little bit of the wire coming out the end. So you're ensuring that it is a nice seat. And we're going to crimp this up too. There we go. Very nice. And give it a little tug. Excellent. Okay, so now this wire technically is ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, well, I got to cut off the other wire, measure it up so that I get the same amount of length. And then, well, now we can see once we connect the one side of the switch to quick connect, basically this is going to go to the car side. This is what I'm going to see on my side. And then, you know, once I flip it on and off, that's when it's going to activate and deactivate the system. So we have all of this now set up nicely. So I just got to get the second wire to run to this end for the other side of the box, and then we should be good to go. So we got the second wire cut up, and let me get on one end. I got to clean up this side right here. It looks kind of bad, but let's take care of this side first. We got this all nice and screwed down, and everything is good. So let's go and crimp it down. Like so. Give it a good yank so it doesn't, make sure it doesn't move. Now we got this all right here. This looks good. Have a little bit of wire showing at the top again like it's supposed to. Now this side I definitely got to cut and kind of, because this is a little janky, but I'm just going to cut that and then put the other end, and then we could put it all to the switch. Okay guys, so I have the second wire ready to go. I had to cut it a couple times because I want to get it, like, it doesn't need to be the exact length. It is a little bit longer, but I just wanted to be as close as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. I made this wire beforehand, but this one was too short, so I'd rather it be a little bit longer. But that's why I bought a bunch of wire, just to be able to test and all that stuff. So essentially now we have both wires here ready to go. So now we need to get it onto the actual switch of the car. So this is what's going to go to the switch right here. Let me do it this way. So we're going to have, actually I'll put this one here. There's one, and then there's two. I'm going to shrink down these connectors too with the lighter just to get them nice and tight there. But essentially, guys, this is what we're going to be looking at right here now that it's all nice and done. So I'm just going to clean up this right here and then come back and go for it. Also, when you're doing this, you don't want to hold it in one place too long because you don't want to burn the wire or anything. So you want to go around it quick so it tightens up all around, so it takes nice form. That's perfect. So now it's all in unison. You might get a little bit of burning plastic smell, but that's normal. And let's clean up this one really quickly. Again, don't hold it in one place too long, just all around so that it's good. I want to see how this works first, and if I can, I'll probably clean it up better, as in maybe some heat shrink, wrap it up with some tape, but I want to make sure this actually works before going all out. So now that these wires are all ready to go, essentially, now it's time to go and connect it to the switch, put the switch onto the fuse box, and we'll see if it works. Okay guys, so as you can see now, I have the switch, the wires are into the fuse box where the original 15 goes. So now I just got to put the 15 into here, into this tap right here, and then we have the switch at the end. So let's see how this goes. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tuck this switch back here to put the panel on. And whenever I go to the drag strip or want to have some fun, I can just pop the panel off. It takes 2 seconds and then I can access the switch. I don't want to cut a hole in here because I don't know. I just don't like the way that would look. So hopefully that works. And now I'm gonna grab the fuse, put the fuse into the tap right here, like so. Okay, now we're gonna start the car and see if this actually worked. Okay guys, so we're about to start the car right now, and I got the switch. It's in the on position right now, so that means that this should be activating the all-wheel drive system like normal. So when I start the car, it shouldn't have any codes on it, and then when I flip the switch off, down, then it should give me some faults, basically saying that the Haldex is being shut off. So when I start it, if there's no codes or anything on the dash, like hill assist and a bunch of other stuff is going to come up, then I should have wired this correctly. So hopefully nothing. Okay, that's a good sign. So check engine lights for the O2 sensor. That's how, you know, the access port tunes work from any company that does access port tunes. So this is good. Okay, so I guess moment of truth. I got the switch right here. Let's do it. Let's see if I can get it all together. When I turn this down, it should give me faults. Yeah. Yep. So now the Haldex system, yep, start, stop, everything is going to come up. So yep, exactly what I saw online. I think we got it. I think we got it, guys. I think this little cheap switch that we made is going to work. Yep, everything is going to come on now. So we should be good. So I'm going to take the car out and see if we can actually do some front wheel drive burnouts now to make sure. Now to take these codes off, like if I were to flip the all-wheel drive back on, it'll activate it, but the codes are going to stay on. So I would have to turn the car off and then back on so that we are good to go again to basically reset the code. So I turned the switch back on. So I'm going to turn the car off. When I turn it back on, the code should be gone. Yep. And we'll do it one more time. Switch off. All the codes come up. Perfect. Now I'm going to shut off the car. And then if I start it with it off, it should shoot codes immediately. Again, I'm just testing all the wiring to make sure. It should keep the codes all on now because it's still off. Yep. Yep, perfect. So it looks like we did the right job, guys, with the wiring and everything. Again, not a perfect job. It's not the cleanest thing in the world, but it should work. So again, let's get this car out and see if we can do some front wheel drive burnouts. Okay, guys, so I'm on my way to Mexico right now to see if this burnout switch that I made actually works like it's supposed to. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know how I would do a burnout in this car and like hold it. I've seen online, I think you have to like hold the e-brake up while like giving it gas. I'll figure it out once I get to Mexico, but we'll see. If I can do a burnout, that'll be great because I've mentioned it in a few videos recently that I really want to start drag racing, but like, you know, really drag racing. And this is a big part. It's putting some heat in the tires before you do your pass. And I plan to get some smaller wheels, probably some drag radials or some slicks to really get a good 60 foot. And if I'm planning on being able to cut like, you know, a 1.5 60 foot, I'm going to have to put some heat in the front tires before doing my pass. So being able to do a burnout is phenomenal. And again, nothing against the USP burnout box. I wanted it. I was going to buy it for ease and peace of mind, and it's just a nice setup. But when I started to dig a little bit and saw that I could probably make my own, which, you know, will cost me under $10. Like, if you have the wiring and the little connectors, which a lot of people do just laying around their garage, you could literally make this for just the price of the switch. Now, if you don't have the stuff and you need to buy the tap, the wire, and the switch, you're spending like $10. The switch was like $3. The tap was $2, and then the wire was like $4. It wasn't even $10 for everything. And I already had some of the connects that I had from a wiring job years ago that I had to do for something. So again, it's super cheap how you can make these. And again, if it works, great. We're about to find out. I'm about to find out on camera with you guys. I haven't attempted to do this at all. So hopefully we can do the burnout. All right, guys, so now I'm in Mexico. We're gonna try this out. So let me flip the switch down, turn it off. All the faults come up. So I guess we just... It does work. Holy crap, it does. Look at that. DIY burnout switch actually works. Oh my God. Wow, that's a lot of smoke. I kind of want to go to another location, put a camera out so you guys can actually see like the burnout, because that was pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. So let me, I'm gonna set up a camera so that we can view that together. Wow, that was a lot of smoke, super quick. And now, yeah, it feels like the car's all-wheel drive again. I just flipped the switch back on and it does seem to be all-wheel drive again, so that's pretty cool. Again, you're gonna have all the faults no matter what, but let's see. I'm just gonna do a quick little pull. I forgot my access port at home too. I was doing a couple of logs and stuff, so. Yep, definitely perfect. All-wheel drive system comes back on like normal, and we can light up the tires. Guys, it works. It works. That's successful. Hopefully the GoPro was able to pick up all the smoke and the burnout, but I guess I figured it out. I guess what people said, you gotta just hold up the e-brake and then go into launch control and then just let off and it'll hold it and it just starts to, and then once you push it down, it should power right out of the burnout. So, like I said, let me get into a better spot so I can set up a camera so we can do an outside shot. So there you have it, guys. It works. The burnout switch does in fact work. I was able to do a decent burnout and it makes a ton of smoke. So it lights up the tires in 2 seconds. Obviously, you're putting so much power through the front wheels, it's gonna do that, and it smoked everything out. And I still smell the burnt rubber now, but that's cool, that's cool. But I'm happy, guys. I'm happy that it worked, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you had any comments about anything, please let me know down below. But super fast to make. It took me like 10 minutes to make and extremely cheap. Like, realistically, a lot of you guys that are car guys, you're probably gonna have some wire laying around. You're probably gonna have some quick connects laying around. This, all in all, cost me less than $10 to make. The switch was like $3. The fuse tap wire was $2 or something like that. And then the extra wire was like $4. So literally, I spent, I think, like $8 to make the switch because I already had the quick disconnects from a project a while ago. So I'm gonna say this is a $5 DIY burnout switch. And again, USP, their burnout box, is freaking awesome. I love it. I really wanted it, but I couldn't get it just because of the wait times to actually get it in. And I'd rather make something like this. It's super cheap and it takes 10 minutes. I'm saving some money. I want to save you guys some money too. This is easy to make, guys. Easy to make. It takes, again, 10 minutes of your time. And as you can see, it works. And this will most likely work for any other like Volkswagen, Audi platform that uses the same Haldex system with the same fuse. So A3 guys, this will work for you. Even RS3 guys, it should work for you too, I think. Definitely for the Golf R. If you guys have a Golf R, you can do the same mod and make a DIY burnout switch the exact same way. So if you're an R buddy and you have an R, there you go. You can make a burnout switch. You're another S3 buddy of mine, make the burnout switch. A3, make it. Again, guys, super happy. But please like, comment, and subscribe. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.